Hey, this is Anney.
And Samantha.
And welcome to Stuff I Never Told You, a production of iHeartRadio.
And welcome to me apparently having an octave lower voice. Like, I just kind of shocked myself. Ooh, I'm getting real sexy, y'all, / kind of sick. So apologies for the sound content. Not apologizing for the scatteredness of my mind, because that's constant, isn't it? That's like a personality trait. Right, Anney?
I don't know. I mean, I guess.
You're so nice. But back to what we were saying. Welcome to another installment of Activists Around the World, Women Around the World, What Are Women Doing Around the World, all kinds of things. And today, we wanted to change it up a bit. We are still celebrating Native American Heritage Month as it is coming to an end, even though we will never stop talking about the amazing Indigenous advocates around the world. But yes, in the United States, it is in the month of November. We're coming close to the end of November. Oh my God, it's about to be December.
Yeah, I know. I know.
But anyway, and we are talking about the amazing career of NASA astronaut Colonel Nicole Aunapu Mann. And I'm really kind of excited. Anney, have you ever had any dreams of going to space or being an astronaut?
Yes. Yes. In fact, I could send you a screenshot of my to-do list. On it is go to space. My to-do list is very ambitious. I was very afraid of space for a while because, as I've said, I had a very effective prank played on me as a child that made me terrified of aliens and space in general. Like, very, very scared. It wasn't until I didn't get over it until college. So, I didn't want to then, even though I did really love space camp, which I went to in 6th grade. But now, I think it was after college, I was like, you know what? I'd really like to go to space. However, I do not want to be in the kind of rich billionaire class of space going. That's not the brand I want.
I was going to say, would you pay if you had the money? Because I know you can pay a certain amount. What was it, several $1 million to go to space?
It's
Wait,
one of those
William
things.
Shatner just go to space?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
It was kind of upsetting about his viewpoint of it, and also how Jeff Bezos kind of treated the whole thing was not great, but that's not surprising. So it's also like we talked about this with Antarctica. It's one of those things where I'm like, I want to do it, but I also don't want to. I want to do it responsibly, and I'm not sure there's a way to do that for the environment. So basically I want to. I probably never will. Yeah.
So if they decide that we need to move to Mars, you gonna go?
I've thought about this a lot too.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm torn about that. I would love to go. I'm also terrified because I think that's it would be very difficult and you'd have to start a lot of things that I don't think people realize from scratch. And there is a part of me that's like, I really don't want to. I feel like, again, going back to that rich billionaire thing of we can almost save this planet, we'll go to this planet. I don't like that whole mindset, but I would go. I would go.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I have so many more space-related questions, but I'm going to stop because it's a fascinating topic. I have never necessarily wanted to be an astronaut. I think I knew as a child that I was an underachiever and that all that science and math was not going to be my life. Mm-hmm. No, but it is fascinating to me. We talked about how we love planetariums and talking about the vast space. I don't know. Did you ever go to the Space Museum or Space Camp?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yes.
Did we talk about this?
I just said it.
Did you? Oh my God, I'm sick, y'all. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I did, but you didn't go?
I did not. Man, I just really blanked out. Yeah, so I missed out
it was fun.
on that.
Oh.
We went to planetariums, just never.
Yeah, those were great too. I love those. And I went home for this past holiday weekend, and I'm not sure if I've ever said this before. I think I have, but I have over 1,000, I think more, of those glow-in-the-dark stars in my room on the ceiling. And I would just stare at them like, this is so beautiful. Looking at stars is one of my very favorite things.
Yeah, you have a little light setting for it, right?
I do. I have two galaxy projectors now. I adore it. And I'm already planning like my chill New Year's where I read fan fiction and have that on. It's going to be fantastic.
A month ahead. I love that. But I think it's not uncommon when you were talking about sitting and looking and making your own space look like space. Because a lot of the astronauts who are interviewed talk about this, including Colonel Mann, who talked about this as a child wanting to go to space. But before we get there, Colonel Mann is a member of the Round Valley Indian tribe, and she's become the first Native American woman in space as of October of this year, 2022. Colonel Mann grew up in California, graduating from Rancho Cotete High School, moving on to attend the U.S. Naval Academy, graduating with a Bachelor of Science degree in mechanical engineering, and she went on to get her master's degree from Stanford University in mechanical engineering. And a couple of fun facts. She was a second lieutenant in the Marine Corps, as well as she played soccer for the Naval Midshipmen as a defender.
Oh, cool. And speaking of her military career, in 2001, she attended flight training at the Naval Air Station in Pensacola, Florida. In 2003, she earned her Wings of Gold as a naval aviator. And in 2004, she started her aviation career with the Thunderbolts of VMFA 251 in South Carolina. And after 2 deployments, Colonel Mann went on to become a project officer working in flight test, carrier stabilities, and more. And in 2012, she was selected as an astronaut candidate, accumulating over 2,500 flight hours and 25 types of aircraft, 200 carrier arrestments, and 47 combat missions. And that's according to her NASA biography. And it was in 2013 that she was selected as a member of the 21st NASA astronaut class. She completed her rigorous training in 2015. Since then, she has helped on development for the Orion spacecraft, Space Launch System, and the Exploration Ground Systems as the T-38 Safety and Training Officer and as the Assistant to the Chief Astronaut in Exploration.
And it was in October 5th, 2022, which was a reschedule, by the way. Colonel Mann launched as the commander of NASA's SpaceX Crew F to the International Space Station on the SpaceX Crew Dragon spacecraft, making her the first Native woman to be in space. And by the way, the first Native person, a man, was sent 20 years prior. So at this time, the crew is supposed to remain on the station for 6 months. And just recently, SpaceX launched supplies to the International Space Station, including a Thanksgiving meal that had spicy green beans and some desserts, including candy corn, items like solar arrays, dwarf tomato seeds, and other types of science experiments. The SpaceX program has apparently been sending supplies of fresh vegetables, which they can't get because of the types of meals, on the space station, including lettuce and chilies, and now red robin tomatoes. They said it should be able to be harvested in spring. So they're going to be there for quite a while.
Yes. And if you're interested in the science of food in space, you can check out the other podcast I'm on, Savor, because we talk about that all the time. We love that stuff. Fascinating. In a recent NPR interview, Colonel Mann spoke about inspiring youth to break down barriers, saying, "These young women may be natives, may be people from different backgrounds that realize that they have these opportunities and that potentially these barriers that used to be there are starting to be broken down. And so hopefully that will inspire that younger generation." And then went on to say, never discount yourself. If you don't go after a dream or a goal, and if you don't try, you're never going to make it. Pursue the topic in school, ask for help, meet people that have done that job to learn more about it. You'll grow so much more as a child into an adult, and your interests will vary quite a bit. And so it's exciting to take this opportunity to chase down all of those dreams and never discount yourself.
Yeah, I love that. And though she is quite busy right now in space, she's also training for the Artemis program, which is a robotic and human moon exploration program, and is currently working to be the first woman on the moon, which is scheduled for 2025. So we'll have to come back and talk about that.
Yes.
And of course, with all of that, she has many more accolades, including the 2017 Jerry Yeagley Award for Exceptional Personal Achievement, and was inducted into the Academic All-American Hall of Fame. And of course, several medals for her time in the military. And just a fun fact, if you wanted to know, because I'm going to tell you anyways, she was able to take some personal items with her on this travel, including a dream catcher that her mother had given her a while back and some other personal trinkets. So I thought that was really sweet.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very, very cool. Very, very inspiring. And can't wait to check back in. Can't wait to check back in on this one. As always, if you have suggestions, listeners, for anyone or anything we should talk about in this segment, please let us know. You can email us at stuffmediamomstuff@iheartmedia.com. You can find us on Twitter at momstuffpodcast or on Instagram at Stuff Mom Never Told You. Thanks as always to our super producer, Christina.
Thank you, Christina.
Yes. And thanks to you for listening. Stuff Mom Never Told You is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, you can check out the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.